what the business is.
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV show. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown if you're looking for me.
Absolutely, and I am Spike Lou on them same social sites. What'd you say about your team going to the playoffs there?
Man, shout out to my Packers. Jordan Love, future Hall of Famer. Listen, young GOAT,
God,
young legend.
Hey man, whatever you need to get through the season, brother.
we got new franchise quarterback, nigga. Let's go.
Hope you guys had a great holiday. Enjoyed them Cowboys whooping ass on Thanksgiving like we do. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Yes. Nah, but
hey, what was the show talking about? I know you went to the Medea play. Where you go?
The Medea play is hilarious. I went to the New Jack City play, and it was like a Medea play. Actually, it wasn't. I'll put it like this: the production was amazing. You've been to plays and shit before. Like the nigga had like the shit in the background. The movie was playing sometime. The actual production of it
that's hard.
Was top tier.
Yeah.
Two things. It was at Cobb Performing Arts Center.
Yep.
It took forever to find places to park and to get in. That's normal Atlanta shit though. But like you would have literally had to leave at like 2 to get out there and be there on time. So I got in there late, which I was hot about. With plays, you got to see the whole thing, man. So I never really got to get into it like I wanted to. But what I did, like, man, it was a packed house. Like people was like packed in there.
Dude.
And Tretch was Nino Brown. He was some slaw. Your boy Anthony Payne, that guy that play on House of Pain and shit.
Okay, yeah,
he was the G Money he did okay.
Oh, like that's the nigga that was G Money in the movie.
Yeah, he the original G Money was.
That's hard.
Tough. He did okay.
How the fuck he do okay and it's his role?
The nigga was acting like, bro, he was acting like he was over it. He was acting like, y'all gonna give me a check for this? All cool. That nigga was lackadaisical than a motherfucker. That nigga was like, oh, this is my line? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, this Nino, yeah, G Money, Nino, like what, bro? But the crowd made it though. The people was into that shit. Like they was laughing and stuff. The Dutta Man character was funny. Keisha was funny. Flex played Chris Rock role. The
Flex Armstrong.
Yeah, he was all right. He was.
Or Anderson. What's that nigga name?
Yeah, whatever that nigga name is. The Flex nigga. But yeah, it was a pretty cool experience, man. Similar to the Rick Ross, like we were talking about, just black people being in the house. It's funny, just laughing at black people shit. Like Black Panther 2, like we were talking about. It was like that. It was just like that. It wasn't the actual acting wasn't anything to write home about. The experience and the production was top tier though.
My gal went on Sunday. She thought it was cool. Yeah. She liked Trench in it though. She thought he did a good job, so she might just like Trench. I don't fucking know. So
yeah, that has to be it. And too, I was comparing it, I guess, to Wesley Snipes, who bodied.
Hell no.
Trench was that. Like, Trench was.
That's an L every time.
It was cool though, man. They put a lot of effort in. The dude that did it to put that shit together, if he ain't already, if I'm just sleep on it and he already famous, pardon me, but if he ain't there, he on his way there. Wherever the top of the play game is, he there. He gonna get there.
Shout out to that, man.
Job, yeah.
Shout out to that. I'm gonna skip it though, but salute to those who hit that. Action-packed episode, guys. The end of the year is near. Easy for me to say. So you already know how we get down around this time, man. Person of the year, we are crowning them this episode. You and I both have a couple of runner-ups, and we have our person of the year. We stole this from Time Magazine a couple of years ago, and we're keeping it going. They'll be okay. A couple of other things we'll be touching on today, man.
I think theirs coming out in the next couple of weeks.
They're trying to be like us now. Trying to do it at the same time and shit.
Facts.
Couple of other things we'll be touching on, man. Atlantic Records, they might be cooking these views on some of your favorite artists. We'll talk about that. And then Saweetie, your girl, dropped a new project and went double plastic. We're going to talk about what that means for her career as an artist. But first, we're talking Birdman. I feel like it's been a minute since we've mentioned young Birdman on this show. But this isn't for a bad thing. Number one, he teased BG's coming home pretty soon. That was pretty dope. But number two, what we wanted to speak about, he was on IG Live. How he knows how to use IG Live is nuts. He was on there taking credit for the hustle that Southern artists have and writing the blueprint. Some No Limit fans were in the comments that did not agree with that. My question, who needs to take the credit for Southern artists having the hustle that they have? P
Great
or Birdman?
Great question.
Yeah.
Birdman, in my opinion, doesn't get enough respect as a mogul in this game, especially from the executive standpoint. He's been the punchline as of late, a lot of shit from the Breakfast Club. But we have to understand the role that he has played to providing us with the Lil Waynes, the Hot Boys, the Juveniles, Nicki Minaj's, the aforementioned BG. The list goes on, even with Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan, like the list goes on. Birdman knows what he's doing. He and his brother Slim, Birdman may be more of the face of it. Slim may be more of the business. It's never really clear. It's never really been cleared up. However, I say that to say Birdman isn't wrong. P had a run. The run was solid. It was strong. People know how big of No Limit fans that I am, you are, this show as a collective, but he hasn't been in it 30 years strong doing his thing. And like no one has been able to knock him off the block. Like my number one artist can say I'm not paying them. As a matter of fact, everybody can say that I'm not paying them. Guess who's still going to put Drake out? I was just on the last Drake record, still talking shit 35 years later. So I could understand Birdman getting in his feelings when people try to be like, oh, no, it was P. Yeah, P was strong, played a really prominent role in it. But when we talking about the blueprint, Birdman is right, man.
When we talking about the blueprint, it's P. Simply because it was first. He was first before. Without his deal, I don't think you get the Cash Money deal. Like when you talk about big deals in hip hop, niggas talk that 80-20. And that 80-20 is Percy, Master P. Miller.
Niggas ain't getting that no more either, though. Like that never happened again.
But I'm saying Cash Money's deal with Universal was very, very strong. It was a lot of zeros at the end of it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a direct reflection of what P brought, and they coming from the same area. And you know how labels do. Just like when Houston blew up, nigga, they went to go sign everybody from Houston, dude. Miami too. So I feel like with that, that's the blueprint. That's the person who kicked the door down. Now, did he have as long of a career as Birdman? No. That he also didn't find a Drake or Nicki Minaj either, dude. Like, so I think people take away from Birdman because of the acts that it looks like he got lucky as it relates to Wayne turning into an absolute alien and what he turned into. And then Wayne then in turn being introduced to Nicki and Drake, and then getting them somehow to sign up under Cash Money and them turning into household international superstars. A lot of people think that would have happened regardless of what Birdman was there and what his influence played or not. I think that's where the lack of respect lies. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't expect Birdman to hop on live and say anything other than what he said, though. Like, I wouldn't expect him to hop on there and be like, really, guys, it was really P that did. I really got this game from him. That's never going to happen. So I'm not mad at him for saying that. I just don't think it's accurate.
And we're not looking at it from the same perspective either. Like, you may be right in the sense of, hey, P did it first. He got that deal first. Birdman may be looking at it, man. Both of us was down here in New Orleans doing our thing, and I had my little facet, and he had his facet. People just noticed him a little sooner, or whatever it may be.
That's possible.
And I guess that's what first is. However, that may not weigh as heavily for him, and like he may have thought he was in motion just at the same time that P was. I just did a deal for he did, because we've seen the documentaries, and seen things that kind of show the timeline as to how those two came up near and around each other in the same frame. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but I wouldn't at all expect Birdman to get on there and take it any other way. And like I said, rightfully so. People need to put some respect on his name, even if he is wrong in the sense of like what you're saying, it wasn't a blueprint. His career, what he's done as a record executive, like it is really damn near unmatched. For even sure. if Drake and Nicki would have signed somewhere else and still been big, they didn't, right? Like, true. I've had Wayne, I've had Drake, I've had Nicki. Like, we can argue that these are three of the biggest stars ever in this thing that we've did, and they've been under his tutelage. And those people, like, I know there are a lot of people that do, but those people primarily don't even speak bad on it. Like Wayne
That's a
was
fact.
going through that shit with him about all the money, and he still really wasn't just like, I mean, there were glimpses, but it still was overall like, yeah, that's my Paul. Let's see
Yeah,
what
I know we get on P for biting lately, but
Mhm.
back then you got to realize that I'm about it. That was a game changer because everybody named Mama came after him and tried to make a straight to DVD movie, including Cash Money and Baller Blocking.
Facts.
So you can't tell me you said the blueprint. And listen, there's a
I
book
guess he
called
talking
Steal Like
about
an Artist.
maybe
Everybody
he
does.
means a sustainable blueprint. Because
Yeah,
we can't
no.
argue that what P did wasn't sustainable, as we can see. But Birdman got a sustainable blueprint from 1993 until 2023. That's a goddamn long time.
If P had Drake and Nicki Minaj, would they still be
He
the same
didn't though.
superstars? No, I'm asking, would they be the
If
same Drake and Nicki Minaj?
I don't know. I ain't gonna hold you. Because
I don't
there
either.
is no, like, even with the Hot Boys and then turning Lil Wayne into what we seen, P don't have that. I think P's biggest star was himself. I didn't see P make no stars, right?
Mystical. I think Mystical was a star.
But all of those people, even Mystical was popular before. Like, he was the hottest person in New Orleans, and I'm gonna sign with No Limit. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but not on a
Now I'm
national
talking
level.
locally. I'm just speaking locally. It was like P always finds, like, even the Snoop sign. And again, I'm not hating on him. You know how I feel about P. I love him. However, I can see Birdman's perspective when he's talking about like homegrown and sustainable. Like, P didn't do it like he did. He put the blueprint out there for a way to go make money. And a lot of people duplicated that, but Birdman's blueprint, I don't think, was the same.
No, and they both winning at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. My shout out to P, man.
For sure.
Moving on. Speaking of winning, your girl has not been doing a lot of that lately. Saweetie, she had an eventful week, man, from going back and forth with Vlad to Joe Budden to whoever else had a comment about her putting out the double plastic mixtape project, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Question for you, AB, and it's very simple. Saweetie's a very talented lady, looks great, only sold 2,000 records. Can she turn this around and have a strong career?
Nah, it's over.
It's over?
Yeah, as for a music career, for sure.
Jesus Christ. Are you saying that based off lack of talent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's a wrap. Her one record that people were familiar with was a sample of an already popular record, which is the Too Short joint. We know that she can't rap. Yes, we know that she can't rap. We know it. We know she looks great. We know it's more looks than talent. Everybody already. This is not breaking news at all.
Okay.
The 2,000 units sold on this EP that she put out. 2,000, bro.
Is that the right number? I was just that's the right number. Jesus.
Yeah. She has an EP called The Single Life, 2000. Look, bro, without the celebrity relationship with Quavo, take that out the way. Without the cheat code hit record with the sample already, and whoever was writing for her at the time, bro, it's done. She just needs to do something else, and that's okay. You don't have to make music anymore. You're already in the door. You got the McDonald's deal from last year. Like, you don't need, go do a fucking Revlon commercial or something. Like, you can, there's a gang of shit she can do. Like, I'm not worried about her being successful. She's just not, she just doesn't need to make music anymore. And we've been, I feel like we've mentioned this before. This is not like anything alarming. She's just not talented as an recording artist. She's just not. Somebody saw her, thought she looked good, wrote a song for her, took a cheat code sample, and put out a record that was halfway decent. She had a celebrity boyfriend, little power couple shit that helped. Now that that's been gone, nobody cares about the music anymore, bro. As evidence of these 427 streams done. Well, and so she's on social media clapping back at everybody. I make music for pretty bitches. If you can't relate, I understand.
Way blah, more than 2,000 pretty bitches in the world. I ain't even going.
Bro, it's a wrap, bro. Somebody said, "Damn, I didn't know it was only 2,000 pretty bitches in the world."
That's what I just.
Yeah, that, bro. Like she's not talented, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And she's only 20, bro. Did you know that?
No way. She allegedly be older than that.
I'm looking at XXL and they're saying 20. I'm about to fact check it while you tell me.
That article has to be old. You know her family's in the industry, right? Like, I think it's her dad, someone. So I could see this being the family business, her looking the way that she looks, being
29, my bad.
She's 29, big difference.
Yeah, my bad.
No, I mean, she ain't old, but she's 29. So I feel like she's been groomed for this position, right? And I don't agree with you in the talentless part. Like, there's a talent too, like having 13 million Instagram followers and entertaining people, just people picking up on what you do. There was a story that came out a while ago about her going to that rap school for some type of artist development. She needs to go back. Like, I think that she could do this if she hung with somebody, took this seriously. Like, this is nothing to her. And you can tell it comes off in the raps. Like, I'm pretty, like you said, I'm connected. I look good enough to where it can fly by. So she thought that was going to make her a successful rap artist. And it's not that simple. Like, it can get you 13 million Instagram followers. Like you said, it can get you the makeup deals and the Savage Fenty endorsements. All of that's cool. Don't get mad at people, though, when they call you out on it on IG and on Twitter and try to clap back at them like you're offended. Like, you're the one that ain't taking it serious. And I feel very comfortable in saying that after listening to it. Like, you don't give a fuck about rap, and that's cool. Mm-hmm. Don't act like somebody is disrespecting you, though, by talking down about your bars. Like, Saweetie, that just isn't the case. Like you said, she can have a long, fruitful career, I feel like, in whatever she wants to do. She has the connections and the looks for it. I even feel like that she can be a more successful rapper, but that would come with leaving a lot of that other shit alone and taking rap a lot more seriously, not making it about, oh, this is a Lil Baby sneak diss, or this is a Quavo clapback record, or I'm going back and forth with Joe Budden or Vlad. Like, all of that shit, like, that's to feed the Instagram followers. And if that's what you want to do and take the Kim Kardashian route again, that's great. She looks good enough to do it. But if you're talking to me about rap and you coming in here putting some bars together, there's no way that you put that project out and thought that this was it. Or if you did, you just ain't got an ear for music. Like, she's like you're saying in the Dead Tone review that you have of it, it's trash. Absolutely. Garbage. Mm-hmm. However, I do see some talent there. I just don't think that this is what she wants to do. Like, she's just like using her position to do this.
And listen, she's not the first person ever to use rap as a hustle to get into other industries. So I'm not mad at the strategy. It's already worked. You're already famous, dude. Like, you do not have to double back and circle. You see what Iggy Azalea did? Iggy Azalea made her one little rap shit, or her two little rap shit, and got the fuck out of there, dude, and went to go do some other shit. Nigga, just go do something else, dude. It's okay. Nobody will miss it. Nobody's going to be mad. The 10 million, 12 million followers are obviously not here for your single or your music project, or you wouldn't have went double wood first week, which actually makes her Instagram following look funnier in the light now that you mentioned that. There's no way on God's green earth, if I have 12 million followers and I put out any product, how many?
13 million. Yeah.
There's no way I have 13 million followers and I put out a product and only sell 2,000 of that. It's impossible. There's no fucking way, dude.
Have you seen her though?
Well, motherfucker should be copying my shit. You need to have an OnlyFans or something, dude. Like, do something. There's no way you only do 2,000, bro. The math ain't mathing, bro. There's a whole lot of bots and shit going on, which I know we'll talk about in a minute. But bro, like, that ain't. It's not adding up. Not to me.
So, if you were advising her, if she came to Animal Brown for career advice, what would the next step be for you? What would you say?
It would be to unplug the microphone in the studio, turn the lights off, lock the doors, and throw away the key. You never go back in there ever again. Get with a talent agency, get on one of these TV shows, get on one of these movies, take some acting lessons, do something, or get with one of these makeup lines. Like, she could easily sell that shit, bro, for days. Listen, you got to use what you got, man, to get what you want. I'm here for, I don't give a damn about the nepotism shit. I'm actually here for it. Like, cool, you got in the door because the motherfuckers you know or you related to, fine. That's what they.
That's fine. It's like
now take the baton that they have passed to you, and please go run with it and carve out your own lane. That's all I'm asking. Just don't do it. Throw the key to the booth away, though.
Yeah, I would pivot from rap and just movie and things like that. Like, she got a good personality. That's how the 13 million people stay on her IG. Like, there are people that are as cute as her that don't have nowhere near the following. But she does have a good personality. She's funny sometimes, even in the clapbacks. And she was going back and forth with
True.
Joe Budden and the people. Like, she's funny. So she got it in her. She has superstar status. It just ain't in music. And again, the problem with the topic and where I'm taking the other side of it is don't get mad at people for calling you out for being mediocre. Like it sounds like you put mediocre work towards it. Like, don't get mad when people call you out with that. But I do think that she got a strong career in something else. It just won't be this. Like, I think she ain't gonna continue to fight for it. Like, this ain't this like Dreezy. It sounds like something that she love to do. Like, I listen to her Dreezy, I can be like, okay, it sounds like she like to rap. Like, she into this shit. Like, I listen
Lotto.
to like yeah, they like to rap. Nicki Minaj, all of like,
sure.
I don't know about Cardi. Like, she just riding her
It's
way.
a hustle.
But yeah, like if you don't like it, then that's cool. But just use it as the hustle and get out of the way. Don't go back and forth with people and get mud all in the streets. What we got next?
Oh, first of all, real quick though, we remiss if we didn't say rest in peace to Hovain.
Oh yeah.
Man, a super popular manager in hip hop. He ran a cinematic music group that's home to Joey Badass, Smoke DZA, and then he was managing Troy Ave at one point in time. He's worked with acts like Cam, Jim Jones, T-Pain, Young Guru. The cause of death has not been disclosed yet, but he was super popular. A whole bunch of love was shown on social media for Hovain.
Yeah, man. We worked with Combat Jack early on, right?
If I'm not mistaken.
I think so. When they came down here and they did that live show, he was with them.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Hovain, man. It seemed like a solid dude by all accounts.
Absolutely, man. Condolences, man. Thoughts and prayers to his family.
Absolutely. Let me get this next one, man. We spoke about cooking the books and numbers earlier. Atlantic Records is under fire. A lot of fans, a lot of Don Toliver, Lil Uzi fans, noticed some very interesting things going on in their comment section of their latest singles on YouTube. Whole lot of bots. Bots is botting. A lot of repeat comments and funny comments that don't have shit to do with the content. People are calling cap. Atlantic Records have come out and said we don't use any bots or machines to inflate the numbers of our artists. It looks like they're lying. My question is big deal, little deal, no deal for these artists?
It's a little deal, especially when you're talking about guys like Uzi and you're talking about people that are popular and you think that they're popular naturally. You start getting this problem that you had with Saweetie, who we just talked about. It ain't helping Don Toliver, if I'm being real, though. Like, I seen the 7 million, but I still don't like. I hear a couple guys in the group chat talk about him. My guy Chris Platia send me some stuff here and there. Then I think
he's undefeated on them hooks. I don't know what you talking about.
I'm not listening to his projects though.
He got joints
I'm
too,
not
though.
checking for John Toliver. I know he's dope. I understand with the lane that he's in and everything. However, I'm saying all that to say, even if they are pressing the button and running it up for Don Toliver in the least, I mean, it ain't helping. It ain't making him pop anymore. Even with Lil Uzi, like his wave has kind of died down. Like the music isn't there. And we just like we were talking about with Saudi, if they ain't putting in the work to get out there and feed the beast that is those, like I seen this video they were talking about, had 7 million views. If it started looking real funny in the light and you got the comments there and shit, and then a nigga like Don Toliver, who I'm saying he never comes across my screen, and I got to do research for this show at least a couple hours a week. I'd never see Don Toliver news, comments, quotes, nothing. And with that being said, if they are paying the bots, I don't think that he's doing his job as a rapper to like feed the beast. I don't see a problem with it. That's what record companies are supposed to do. They're supposed to get you popping to make money. So if it looks like somebody got 7 million views on a YouTube view, I'll look at it too and like, okay, 7 billion people have seen this. However, I don't think that that's the formula just because people are able to figure it out. So if you don't add the other part with it, which is the talent, which is the want to, which is being out there feeding the beast from a personal level, it don't matter. Who cares if they're doing it? That's what record labels do. Try to find ways to sell records. Shocker.
Yeah, for sure. And they Atlantic also is home to Travis Scott, other artists too that they have had accusations before about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be honest, I think Atlantic is doing this shit. I think all record labels are doing it.
Yeah.
And I still think it's no deal.
Yeah, like why do I care? I don't care.
Yeah, it's and neither does Atlantic, bro. That's the new day and age. Like you said, the job is to get this record in front of as many people as possible. How do you do that? By inflating the numbers to make it seem like it's already in front of as many people as possible, to make other people attracted and aware and share it and want to be in and don't want to have
FOMO.
Because it's already at 7 million and you just heard about it yesterday. You're like, oh shit, where have I been at? It must be hot. Fine. That's the new day and age of getting someone hot. You just have to have the records to match. You can pull it off. Saweetie's new single can't have 7 million views because that everybody's going to call cap. Travis Scott new video, okay, well, is it really supposed to be 5 million? But it's 7 million. Like, who at that point, bro, 5, 7, 9, 10, bro, he's already out of here. He's on a rocket ship, dude. It's too late. So you're wrong about Uzi. He got a record out that's popping right now.
No, that's what I was saying. Well, okay, I did say it was quiet for him.
Yeah, right. Like, huh? He got a record that's popping. According to YouTube. Now, that might be the Atlantic.
I ain't heard it nowhere, but I wouldn't. So
it might be the Atlantic Shuck, though. I don't know. Right. But he came out to Meek Mill's show and performed it, and everybody was turned. So
and he gets a crowd for that. I'm sure, like like Chris Platty, that's his guy. So if he had a record out and he was popping out, he'd tell me and text me offline from this. But again, I wouldn't know. And again, if it said 15 million views when I went to that song that you was talking about, I wouldn't believe it. Or I wouldn't know not to and wouldn't care. Like, it ain't gonna be like, oh man, I feel like I'm getting gypped because this doesn't really have, like, I don't care
what the song sound like, dude.
Right. Is it bopping? Cool, run it, dude. Like, let me add it to my playlist real quick.
And plus, let's be real though. You don't need to be a superstar to post something and bots jump into your account, but that happens to everybody.
Yeah, like, and I think the problem with this is what we were talking about with those industry plants was a thing for a minute,
for sure.
So the problem is when you get these industry plant type guys that get these numbers, but Don Toliver ain't that nigga talented. He just ain't popping. Like,
and he got a co-sign too, though. Huh? He signed to Travis Scott, so it's not as if where did this guy come from?
Right, it ain't like we don't know who he popping. Like, we're just trying to get him in front of more people, so we're gonna do what we need to do that. Like, and again with Lil Uzi, the same thing. Like, he talented. Like, it may not be for me, but I recognize how cold he is and what he does. So I ain't got no problem with it.
You want to know the last industry plant?
Who?
Ice Spice. That's a plant. That's somebody.
You said last, like it was a while ago. So you think she's the most recent industry?
Most recent, I mean, that's what I meant. Because that's somebody A, coming from out of nowhere. B, only reason people know who that is because Drake posted the song. You throw Drake 200,000 to post a song like that's, to me, that's a plant. Like, you manufactured the heat. You know what I'm saying? Like, the song came and went. It's long gone. I think Yachty did that too with that Poland song. I think that was manufactured too. So you'll know if something is hot for 2 minutes,
and
it's gone from artists that are at least reasonably recognizable. When shit like that happens, or when somebody comes out literally out of the blue, Ice Spice ain't got another song out previous.
I was just gonna say I haven't seen anything else.
She dropped another song and nobody cared. That's my point. When that happens, that's on some industry plan shit, in my opinion.
That makes sense. I could definitely see that. So you don't see Ice Spice popping?
Fuck no.
She gonna change her hair. When she change her hair up, it's over. She out of here.
No, she ain't got no more records, bro.
Speaking of Ice Spice, New York, Jim Jones was out in the media talking about how where New York's place was in the game right now and how it's been at the bottom for a very long time. He says it's because New York guys, they just aren't as united as you would see the West Coast or the Southern guys, even the Midwest people. My question to you, AB, is it true that what's holding New York back is lack of unity?
You can say that about Black people in general. I mean, like,
Jim Jones watched from niggas to Hebrews.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he just got through watching that Kyrie documentary, so that's why he owned that shit right now. He owned
his enlightenment shit.
But it's easy. I can understand why he would say that. Conway had said something similar about the DJs and the gatekeepers freezing them out, freezing that sound out, and you usually hear that from artists who feel like they should be getting more pub than they are. So Jim Jones he had an earlier record this year that we set the trends with Migos that he tried his hardest to push, which was a kind of a dope song, but it didn't get as many looks as it probably would have if we were in the mid to late 90s when all eyes was on New York. I just think all eyes are on everywhere, so they're not like everything is just not looking at them and then following what they do. It's not happening anymore, bro. And then plus the lines are blurred when it comes to this rap geography shit, bro. Nobody cares about where anybody is from regional wise anymore, bro, because too many people don't sound like where they're from. Those lines have been blurred for at least 10 years now. So them still hanging on to, man, we don't stick together in New York. We don't stick together. We don't stick together, bro. We not like New York. We not. I mean, excuse me. We not like Atlanta. We not like, bro. Like y'all gotta let that go. Like just let it go, bro. Like I see a lot of the drill artists together. I don't know what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? I still see the Lock still doing their thing. I still see Dipset and y'all doing, like, are you talking about new niggas? Like who are y'all talking about and why are y'all talking about it? And how does that benefit Jim Jones? That's all I want to know. He's a legacy act at this point. His place in history is stamped. I don't know where he's already hit his ceiling, bro. So I don't know what he's talking about, where he's going to go from here, bro. He's already cemented. His legacy is good.
I kind of feel Jim Jones on this. I'm on a different side of this than you. The people that he named, Jay-Z, you talking about how Jay was king of New York at one point, Nas was king of New York, Puff was king of New York. And the mindset of New Yorkers is there's a guy at the top, there's a king, like there's one person that runs the city. And if you deviate from that mindset, like if you had Dipset, you mentioned the Locks, G Unit,
yeah,
that's every few and far between, I would say, with New York artists. I do feel like if I would take a second look if I seen a collective of New York artists doing something like that there's a lack of that. Like he isn't wrong when he says that. Like most New York artists are standing alone. They may work with each other on one-offs, but it ain't like you see Detroit, for example. How regions become popular and are popping is because people that are from there make it very known, like 42 Doug, Boldy James, whoever you like from Detroit, whether it's Danny Brown to 42 Doug and everybody in between, they let you know, hey, I'm from Detroit, nigga, and I'm fuck with these niggas that's over here. Same thing with Memphis. Another place that we like right now, the Memphis artists like Glorilla and from Moneybagg Yo to fucking whoever, they letting you know, nigga, I'm from Memphis. New York guys do that, but they do it on an individual level. And ain't no posse cuts, it ain't posse tracks. And I think that Jim Jones kind of hit on something as an OG, seeing these young cats come up from New York. Because like you said, when we speak of them being Southern older gentlemen, we like the drill rappers from New York. I don't know none of those niggas' names. I ain't gonna, the last nigga that I knew was Pop Smoke, and now the newest nigga, what's his name? Fabio. And even with Fabio, he's individualized himself from the rest of the niggas that do drill. He say the same shit. I'm the king of New York. Where if there were more of those drill niggas that you talking about on some of his shit that I hear, then maybe I would know their names. Then maybe the New York sound would be more popular. So I get what Jim Jones is saying. But the best point that you made is like, who cares, bro? You're Jim Jones. Like, well, it's too late. You should have been saying this when Dipset was out. Like, but when you was beefing with Nas and knocking the kufi off niggas' heads and wanting to do that, that was the downspin of New York hip hop and rap. Like, you actually were at the forefront of ruining it, if you want to be real. But like that unity, like, kind of went out of the door with Cam versus Jay-Z, Dipset versus, you know what I'm saying? Like they ushered that era out. So
now that's a fact, number one. But I understand the call for unification. I'm on a serious tip, I'm never going to be against that. Like I understand that would be great. And let's be real, the drill rappers are all aiming at each other right now. So they're trying to take each other out. So I get it. Maybe there's he's speaking to them, or he's speaking to a crowd of people that we're not privy to, because there's a whole lot of New York business going on in the boroughs and all kind of shit that's not on our radar. So if he's talking to them, then I understand it completely, because they're going to make way more money together than beefing. You know what I mean? And as soon as niggas understand that, then things will change. But like you said, he's an OG, he's a vet. He's good. If this message is for someone else, okay, then I can respect and understand that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Like, as we mentioned before, it's that time of the year. Person of the Year 2022. Again, Jack Baldis from Time. Appreciate you. Not man of the year, not woman of the year, person of the year. And it does not have to be a literal person. It could be a figure, a theme, a place. Could be anything of that nature. We've got a couple of runner-ups and then a winner. But then we also last year, for those of you that are new to it, we're gonna spoil it. Last year, you remember who you had?
Last year, I believe I chose Versus.
Yep.
Yeah, the Versus product.
Where are they at now?
The fuck big fall off. Jesus Christ.
Nigga, they ain't done nothing in months.
That one thing, they got that check from, they sued Thriller and got out of Dodge. Like, oh, fuck it. We just got the check from y'all and we done.
I think
Swiss. But did Thriller sue him? Was it the other way around?
No, they sued Triller.
Yeah.
Shit. But Swiss posted like a tease, like season 3 coming soon. I was like, oh, we doing the season thing? Oh, okay. That's coming. Y'all taking a break on this during seasons? Okay.
Yeah. Fuck that coming soon shit. Just hit it. They should just, they gotta Beyonce the next Versus, and it gotta be big. Nigga, Versus tomorrow, Big Dog X. Make sure you on IG Live. Tickets on sale right now. Like, they gotta do that and blow it out of the water.
I think it's gonna be the Puff. I think it's gonna be the Puff
JD. That would be it. And that would be said matchup, because that shit would go. That would be a moment in history, nigga.
Facts.
You had last year Snoop.
I had Snoop, D-O-double-G. He had a huge year last year. He bought he did he did the commentary on the Robinson, the Olympic recaps.
Yeah.
He was Def Jam
doing an with that. Yep.
President or whatever the fuck. He signed Benny. He did a whole lot. He was in talks to buy Death Row, which we thought was super dope. And then he signed up to do the Super Bowl. So he had a big year last year. Of course, the Death Row and the Super Bowl happened this year, but it was news last year. So I had Snoop Dogg, who I also had on my table at Thanksgiving. So he's clearly been on my list.
Snoop still need to try and sign every West Coast rapper that we've ever, like, this relevant to Death Row.
He got to.
I try to get the TDE niggas, Gang, everybody. Like, nigga, just come to Death Row. Like, just come to Death Row, nigga. We finna make this shit crap.
Because if he would have had Death Row 10 years ago, he'd have YG, Ty Dolla $ign. He'd have all of them niggas. Schoolboy.
Yeah.
Nigga have a roster. All right, we got some runner-ups, man. I have 2.5 runner-ups. I'll explain later. Yes.
I got some people that wrote in their people of the year too. We're gonna do those first or last.
We gotta do those last just in case they take one of ours.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Who's your runner-up? Hopefully you didn't take none of mine.
Low-hanging fruit for one of the winners up this year, and that's your man, Champagne Poppy. I'm not sure if you picked him.
Let's go.
Great year for Drake, man. He's falling into that Michael Jordan category where, like, every year I go out here and do this shit, so they looking for a new story versus just giving the person who deserves the MVP. I say that to say, yes, I'm doing that too, because it would have been too easy just to give it to Drake. 2 drops this year. No, one wasn't for me. However, I'm not the nigga that he was talking about on the bar that's ignorant and doesn't understand what that record was for.
For sure.
So, and just the presence of just being the big dog around, like in the comments on social media, just the responses that he gives to stuff, being there without being there per se. Just like Drake is a very present without being there person, and that speaks to his dominance of the industry right now. So that was my runner-up. Couldn't give it to him. Also for the same reasons, the dance album, that shit, like, I can't give you person of the year on this platform with that coming out. So I definitely want to give an honorable mention though. Who's you have?
So I went with another low-hanging fruit. This person that came out of hiding. And I'm gonna keep it short because they were also at my dinner table at Thanksgiving. It's Kendrick.
Yeah.
He arguably had the best body of work this year. We'll have our top 10 episode coming pretty soon. You'll see where that landed on either one of our lists. Spoiler alert, it's really high on mine. It was refreshing. In a year when a lot of people were sliding, a lot of people were spinning, a whole lot of that going on, he came through with some refreshing, grown man, real relatable issues that he spoke to on his project, which I think if promoted and kind of done correctly will stand the test of time, 1, and 2, will open up the door for other people to make similar music, other popular artists to make similar music, kind of similar to 444, not as impactful, but close. So I'd have to give it to K-Dot. Went on tour. He came back outside with a bang, had dope videos, had a project that was worth the wait. Like it was, he got nominated for Grammys, this, that, and the other. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it was worth the wait. So I got to have him as a nominee or a runner up.
Absolutely. And another one of those, like you said, excuse me, like I said with Jordan, like I ain't come out had an album of the year, but since I'm Kendrick Lamar, people looking for new stories, I don't really get the credit that I deserve. So I definitely agree with you. Low hanging fruit could have definitely been the person.
For sure.
Love his album, gonna be high on my list too. Shout out that Mr. Morale and the High Steppers. How many are we doing? 2 or 3? Because I may combine. You got 2 more?
No, I just have 2.5.
Okay. I can combine this one because it's under the same sentiment of person of the year, kind of like the Kim Jong-un when they named him, the nigga from North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Whack 100 and Kanye West. I'll start with Kanye. Last year, if you go back and you're like, hey, man, this person of the year episode is pretty cool. Let me go see what Animal Brown and Spike Lee were talking about last year. Man, we were praising the shit out of Kanye. At least I was. The Nori interview, it came out. People had started loving him again. Like, niggas thought that, yeah, he was on his way back. All he needed was a dope beat. He would have been right back in the good graces, but nope, he couldn't do it. Kanye West could not stay on that path. Blazed a path this year to just being a hot topic. People wanting to stay away from him like the plague after his comments and going on to put his foot in his mouth on many different platforms. Really don't know what the agenda is behind this, as you and I have discussed in length here, as much as we need to tap into the zeitgeist, but we really can't stand talking about it. However, he continues to keep himself relevant. So if we're going to just a person of the year and not praising this person, but just recognizing the impact that they've made, that's what I would do with Kanye. Like, he's been blazing a trail all year. And I say that to say the same thing about Whack 100. It's amazing to me how someone as irrelevant as he is continues to stay relevant. Makes our quick hits every 3 to 4 weeks off of some bullshit that he said, going back and forth with somebody, just continuously poking the bear and keeping his name out there. And I'm assuming that that's good for his brand because he continues to do it with no remorse, doesn't really care how he comes off, as how it seems. And again, not praising the person or making them person of the year, but just I marvel at how remarkable it is that this nigga who has no talent at all other than to be controversial continues to stay in the news, and people continue to go to him and want him on their platforms and talk to him as if he's providing some type of in-depth knowledge when the nigga is not at all. Right. So those 2 guys, Kanye West and Whack, I would say under the same vein were runners up for me as far as the impact that they've made and recognizing what they're doing to the culture.
What is the opposite of person of the year?
That's a good question.
Whatever that is Kanye.
It's Kanye West.
When you anytime you fumble 2 billion.
I didn't know they dropped good music from Def Jam.
Yeah, but what is good music anymore though? Big Sean left, John Legend left, Kid Cudi left. Okay. What is big music? I mean, what is good music, dude?
It's Kanye West still, but like that, I would think that Def Jam would be like, I'm not letting Kanye musically go anywhere. But I guess if he's taking his stance and he's not doing that type of music, then.
But they already was hot at him because he dropped Donda 2 on the device, and he didn't do it through Def Jam. Yeah. So that sounded like that was already kind of brewing, kind of similar to Kyrie and Nike. That was already brewing. They just really needed a reason to come out and say something. So that worked out perfectly for them. They're like,
oh, okay. You said what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. But on top of that, not only fumbling the money, fumbling his brand, he fumbled the rollout to what I had for album of the year, which was Donda. He fumbled the Donda 2 rollout, dude. Like, niggas still ain't really heard it like that. Nobody's buying the STEM device, which they thought he owned. Turns out he doesn't even own that. So even if you wanted to buy it right now, you can't because they done took the music off of the device, dude.
Yeah, they separated ties as well.
So he didn't even own the fucking device, dude. So this year showed the chinks in his business armor, which I don't think people looked at previously because he covered it up with what he could do creatively. So this year exposed him with that. I don't know, is it L of the year, L person? I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but that was Ye for me, and that's my guy, and it's killing me to say that. And then he's continuing this presidential run shit. Like
Nigga
that
had
shit
a
is
break.
killing me as a fan, dude. I don't know what to do no more.
The meeting with Trump was nuts. And I'm talking
Bro,
about not the last one, the new one, the dinner.
that's what I'm talking.
Jesus Christ, son.
Bro, what is he? He going out super sad right now. I'm hot about that. Did you have another runner up, or did you want to go to your person?
Those were my two. I combined them together.
Who's your person, man? What you got? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me ask you this, because I do have another runner up, but I don't want to make sure it's your person. Do you have a CEO or an artist, or are they both?
Shit. No, you ain't gonna have my person. I promise.
Okay. Let me do one more runner up real quick. I'll do. I had Yo Gotti.
Okay.
He made a late splash last year when he became part owner of the DC United. So that was already a huge the soccer team in on the East Coast. That was already a huge play for Gotti, because who in the world would have ever seen that coming? He made the signing of the year with Glorilla. His roster is cooking. They had quality projects from Mozzie, 42 Doug and ESTG, Glorilla. The compilation was fire. And then on top of that, he dropped a double disc at the beginning of the year. That was a sleeper of the year, one of the sleepers of the year. So Gotti has had a great year. I could have easily put him as person of the year for that reason, getting in his exec bag, but still dropping quality music as an artist, even if it's not on the radar like it used to be. Like, he doesn't have a down in the DM or a 5-star chick to speak of, but the music is still quality, which really at the end of the day ought to matter. So kudos to him. Super excited to see what he and the label does next year. And so he been killing shit. I had him. I was hoping you weren't gonna have him, but I thought it may have came across.
He got some votes from the people out there though.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Definitely did get some votes from the people. My person of the year, I almost stayed away from because I thought it would have been a little obvious. I almost stayed away from him because you mentioned it last year. However, I got to give my boy his flowers.
Ooh.
I think he's had a strong year bouncing off of last year. Last year, you couldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Pause. This year, however, just in the same vein of Wack, in the same vein of Kanye West, my guy, Lil Boosie.
Oh, my God.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You've taken yourself in the second stage of your career from an underground Southern rapper to the go-to source, whether it be right or wrong, whether you like the comments or not. Every time something happens, who's on the shade room? Who is the person leaving a comment about everything from Kanye West to Glorilla, whatever it is that you want to comment about, they talking to Bootsy or he's on his IG live. And the way that he's just leaned into it, he was still trying to do music at first and push it out. And I know he's talking about this album with Tip that they doing. No one cares. No one cares about that.
No.
What people do care about, though, is that even IG's tried to ban him 100 times, but now they see the benefit of having him on their platform. They ain't tried to ban him no more. And yeah, he said some controversial stuff, a lot of stuff that I may not agree with at all. Some stuff just, it's ignorance, but it's not a negligent ignorance. It's just to how he was raised. And I'm not excusing any of it. However, him being a person that's willing to come out and say it and not hide behind a lot like we see other artists do. And even when I've seen him be in the wrong, he's come out and he's apologized for it. But the main thing is just the platform switch, becoming a household name versus an underground rapper. That's what his legacy was going to be, an underground Southern hip hop artist who people like me love that may have came up under his music. However, today in 2022, my mom knows who Lil Boosie is. Like, people are looking at IG and, oh, that's the crazy dude that always got something wild to say.
Yeah.
Lil Boosie has really transformed, and I listened to the book, putting the book out, movie supposed to be coming, all of that stuff just adds to the lure and just the trajectory that he's been on from just being that underground rapper, someone that got out of jail and you thought was going to just retire into the sunset, to being, whether right or wrong, good or bad, a voice that people go to for hip-hop commentary. I think that's really dope how he's transitioned that. So I got Lil Boosie as my person of the year. I had to stay away from him last year because of the bullshit that he was saying.
True.
However, he's bounced back even from that. Even from people like, I don't know, like no one's going to this party. We were joking about that last year. Now people are looking at him, laughing at him back in his comments. He's going back and forth with people, even Tip's doing an album with him. So shout out to Boosie, man. Good year for you.
No, for sure. And he's kept a way to stay in the news and stay relevant without using music. Although I like the last record he put out, the dedication
Yeah.
to Takeoff. That shit
I
go
forgot to
hard.
mention that, even that to take off that.
Yeah.
Just staying relevant, staying in the like with stuff like that.
That shit hard.
Yes.
Yeah, now he out here got his reoccurring seat on Vlad, get the hot takes off, keep his name in the news, man. He getting paid to give his opinion, so
Yes.
I can't never be mad at that.
Facts.
Um,
AB, who you got for person of the year?
my person of the year, I was a couple years too early on calling this. But as I do, man, I looked into the crystal ball and I knew it was only a matter of time before DJ Drama made a comeback. And that's exactly what he did in 2022. He kicked the year off properly, winning a Grammy for Rap Album of the Year with Tyler, the Creator. A fucking Gangsta Grillz won Album of the Year, which is nuts. Again, we applauded the Grammys for getting the nominees right this past year, while they fumbled it this upcoming year. That's another story for another day. His label is cooking. Jack Harlow had the biggest year that he's had and had arguably the song of the summer. No matter how you feel about him, he was everywhere this year. Then Lil Uzi, even though they had a falling out of sorts last year, Lil Uzi is back with that I Just Want to Rock. That song is on fire right now. Got his own little dance to it and shit. You know, that's all it take right now. You got to dance to go with your record. Nigga, we pushing it. He brought back Gangsta Grillz in a strong way. Brought Jeezy back from the dead. Nigga, that Snowfall is banging. Like that's a dope project. Gave everybody the nostalgic vibes that they were looking for. I liked his Gangsta Grillz with Simba. I thought that was slept on. That was a very strong project. And even the Jim Jones joint that we spoke about earlier, that was a strong project as well. So Drama's back in his bag. He's prepping for a new album next year. He did his thing this year, man. It's been very low key. Not a lot of people really recognize Drama like that, but this is his second win, bro. As an executive, number one, and then his second win as an actual DJ, mixtape, quote unquote, mixtape DJ. But he's just doing it with albums now, putting out pretty big records, man. So I got to give it to him, dude. Like this is a very nice, kind of refreshing of his career, and it's working, man. I'm interested to see what he does with it from here.
That's a good one. That is definitely a good one. You were really trying to get Drama, pushing for Drama.
I said it was
like
time,
a year and
though.
a half, about a year and a half too early.
I was definitely too early, but I said it was time to bring Gangsta Grillz back. I think it had been gone long enough to where people have missed it, and if you did it the right way in present day, then it would have like a real nice nostalgic feel to it. And I think it's working so far. Now everything not hidden, because the Snoop project he did was some slaw. But for the most part, it's been working.
Yeah, I fuck with Drama. That's a great pick. Some picks from the people before we get to our wins and losses. Glorilla was the first one that you mean other than Glorilla was the first text that I got.
That's hilarious.
Facts. And Finesse 2 times.
Okay.
Got a vote or two.
You reached out to everybody from Memphis?
Yeah, it looked like it. Nas got 1, 2, 3 people recommended Nas.
Okay.
2 Kendrick Lamars.
Okay, yeah, I ain't mad at that.
We got a Drake and another Yo Gotti.
Shout out to them.
And we got another Kendrick Lamar here.
Yep.
So yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
A Kodak Black. We got a Kodak Black. Which is solid. I mean,
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, appearing on that Kendrick album and then the Super Gremlin, I guess.
And then they say his tape was straight too, though.
Yeah, that's strong for Kodak. Because we've been trying to write him out for a while without lockups.
That's true.
Seems to be out and on his bag. So you guys let us know, man, who is your 2022 person of the year in hip hop? Go on IG, YouTube. Let us know on Twitter, wherever you follow the On Deck TV show at. Participate with us, rate, subscribe, and like. AB, what we got for wins and losses?
Hey, man, W or L, we're handing out to Danny Brown from Detroit. He told a story about he was on Rogan.
Yes.
And he talked about how he turned down a deal with Nas to sign to his Mass Appeal Records that he was just starting at the time. W or L for Danny Brown?
This is a big L. Did you know Danny Brown could rap? Like, were you even aware of it?
Yeah, I just don't like his voice.
Yeah. So I feel like more people would be aware that he could really rap and not just for me familiar with the messed up teeth and stuff like that.
Right.
If he had time with Nas. So this is an L. I don't know if this is racist or not, but when people like Danny Brown are on Joe Rogan, I don't listen because Joe Rogan don't know enough about black culture to ask the right questions. It's kind of like what you be saying about combat when Southern people be on there. You like,
Yeah.
When I'm listening to Joe Rogan talk to some neuroscientist or something, it's dope because he sounds interested in it. But when he talking to somebody like Freddie Gibbs or Danny Brown, it's like this shit you like. This shit that I wouldn't like a normal white man. Like, I don't want to hear you talk to Freddie Gibbs, bro. Like, y'all ain't talking about shit that I want to hear.
No, that's fair.
Weird, you know.
I'm not saying I wouldn't say this is an L. I think this is a W because Danny Brown apparently is still out here doing pretty well for himself. And the only other person I know that signed the mass appeal is Dave East, and
he's about that's what I'm saying.
His career hasn't done what we thought it was going to do.
I feel like that Danny Brown has accomplished what Dave East has alone.
So that's a W.
Would you agree to that?
That's fair.
So I feel like with Nas's help.
No, Dave East is on the Wu-Tang show and everything. I can't say that because I ain't seen Danny Brown in years.
I think Danny Brown got some TV shit in there.
I
wouldn't know who he was if he did, though, to be honest with you. But I'm not. I think he does. Let me look.
Good to see him out, though. I always wonder kind of what happened to him. Win or loss, man. Drake and 21 Savage in an interview admit to helping each other with lyrics for the project.
That's a win. I'm glad that they're able to admit it, and it's not this taboo thing. So I guess we got to kind of shout out Meek Mill for this, for kind of ripping the Band-Aid off. Like, I don't care that these niggas was in there, and he was like, better to be dope if you say this, and like, right. I don't care. I don't care if Kanye West has 35 people writing on a song, dude, as long as it's banging. I do not care. It doesn't matter to me anymore. Like that phase of hip hop for me has passed. I just enjoy the music more so now in a good production. So if these niggas is in there together and he's telling Drake to say this and Drake is telling him to say this, it's cool. It's cool with me.
This is an obvious W because I knew it as soon as I heard several 21 bars that Drake helped him with that. It was pretty clear to me.
Oh, please.
And then 21, to make 21 feel better, Drake was kind of, oh yeah, but you helped me too. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You helped the shit out of him. He may have helped you say one new slang word that you weren't put up on. Let's be very clear.
Danny Brown. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say Drake said that this is his one. This is in his top 5. This project in his catalog.
No way. Drake said that
in his catalog. Yeah.
He just scared of 21 Savage. Like 21 Savage got a gun to his back and it's literally making him say that. That's all.
Fuck out of
here. Like, it's stop, bro. It's not, no.
Hey, people do need to stop acting. First of all, this shouldn't be surprising. When people do collabs, like when you hear Jadakiss and Styles P going back and forth, nigga, you think they went in separate rooms, nigga, and wrote one bar?
Don't tell me. I can't hear what you saying, bro. Don't tell me.
Bro.
Wait.
Stop, dude. Like, let's be real. Last one.
Danny Brown has his own TV show. First of all, before you move on, this is breaking news. You didn't know this, and I did. He has a TV show called Danny's House, where he's the main star of it.
Danny Brown?
Yes.
Nigga, what's it on? Tubi? The fuck? What's that shit on, dude?
I don't know what network. It's on IMDb and everything, dude.
Bro, ain't nobody seen or heard of that.
And it got 100 ratings, and it's an 8.3 out of 10. It's on Prime Video. It's a TV. I am shocked.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a TV show.
Shout out to Danny Brown, then, man. Salute to him.
Yeah, Danny's House. Well, maybe this is a podcast. No, it says a talk show.
A talk show? What the fuck?
Who knows? But all right, last winner or loss.
W or L, man. Freeway Ricky Ross, aka the real Rick Ross, has a biopic in the works, and he has named the actor that he wants to play him. He said Childish Gambino. Winner or loss.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say winner or loss, Childish Gambino playing Freeway Ricky Ross.
I wonder, is he familiar with Childish Gambino, or did he just see him and say he looks like me? I want him to play me in the movie. Like, do you think that he's familiar with his work?
Absolutely.
What type of person that he is?
Absolutely.
And do you think that Donald Glover would play? Do you think he'd be open to it?
Yeah, for sure. I just don't know how believable it would be.
He's a good actor, though.
I mean, true.
I just don't think. And then
Rick Ross wasn't just no gangster ad. Like he
yeah, that's just what I'm saying. Like Rick Ross wasn't just no gangster. Like
right.
It could work. I wouldn't know. First of all, it's a W. if he were to do it, because I feel like that Donald Glover is creative enough to make it really dope. Like it could, like he probably could be even being on the creative process if he was open to that. The Gross was, so that would be dope. But I don't think Donald Glover will be open to this, man. He ain't that nigga making TV shows, bro. I'm not trying.
That's true.
Hey, Rick Ross, what are you talking about, nigga? Fuck out of my inbox. Get away from me, nigga. What you mean? I play you in a biopic, nigga. I can make this movie without you or with you, my nigga. I'm not playing you. What are you talking about?
Rick Ross he ain't taking no calls, nigga, just to be an actor in a movie no more. Like, that's Ross a rap. It better be like a Marvel movie, nigga, or something.
What? Not taking a year out of my life to play your what? You stop, bro. Have you seen my TV show, my nigga? Do you like what? Come on, bro.
I'll watch that shit though. I ain't gonna lie.
I would definitely be here for it. I don't think Donald Glover will be, and he don't seem like the type of nigga that's gonna be like, oh, y'all do this for the culture or black or a favor for you. Like, nah, bro. He would literally be like, are you serious, my nigga? Do you know who I am, dude? Like, what?
Nigga. Oh shit. Hey man, on Decker of the Week, we going to YouTube as usual. Wow, we appreciate the comments on YouTube, man. Y'all been going strong. Shout out to Maurice Hunt, man. He commented on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. His 3 people that he would bring to the dinner table: T.I., Jack Harlow, and Russ.
Yeah, he said that on Another Week in the Books. I told him he was blackballed from being on Decker of the Week. So.
That's hilarious. I'm not mad at the 3. Russ,
because he won it too many times. The Russ one is interesting.
If you listen to Russ interviews, like him talking that independent game, like he be on point. So like that should be interesting.
Yeah, that's Mo's guy too. So 100%.
Absolutely, man. What you got to put me on, man?
My put on for this week is music and a documentary. Music is my guy Boldy James' new project. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it on here yet, but it looked right in time. The cover is, at least, is Christmas. But damn, why I can't pull it up right now? Not about that.
Boldy, you talking about the one he just
Yes, sir. Fair Exchange, No Robberies with Nicholas Craven and Boldy James. Dope ass cover that looks like Christmas time, but he ain't on there singing no Christmas carols. He definitely doing his thing. That's one. 2 is the BMF documentary on Stars. You and I were waiting on this for a long time and wonder, was 50 going to do it right? Be clear, I'm not talking about the show, not the scripted series, but the actual documentary. Flames. I didn't even realize that it was out. I binged the episodes. They pulled a cold little trick though, made them only 25 minutes, so it's gonna be like 10 of them instead of just making it like a 2-hour doc, which is nuts. But they've been good, man, especially these like episode 4, 5, and 6. That's what a series should have started, in my opinion. Like when they getting to it now, like the stuff that's in the book that we talk about by Maria Sharapova or whatever her name is. But this is the BMF doc that you want to see.
What's it on?
All of that. It's on Stars or Amazon Prime. This the one that you want to see right here. They tease you with them 25-minute episodes, but this the one.
I definitely got to check that out.
You there for that? Because you read the book, didn't you?
Yeah, for sure.
This is out of the pages of the book. You could tell that they went like page for page with the book. First 2 episodes are like the show a little bit, like the Detroit shit. But once they get past that, they strong.
I'm surprised he dropped that now. The new season finna come out next year. It's kind of stepping on his toes a little bit.
Maybe it's getting people ready for it. And like because maybe the season is transitioning to what they talking about here. But like I was saying about the show, once they got to talking about like the old dog nigga and like all of this shit in the book, nigga. The chick that got killed, Puff bodyguard and shit. Like now they cooking, nigga. And Meech is like talking about that shit. I ain't never heard him speak on it on any of the documentaries and stuff. They talking about the breakup between him and his brother. Like they getting to the money, nigga. This shit good.
Dope.
Yeah, so what you got to put us on?
I went to the movies, man, as I usually do, the movie buff that I am.
Please.
Went to go see Glass Onion, that Knives Out sequel.
How was that? It's
like a murder mystery joint that I solved in the first 30 minutes. God damn. Hey, man.
Tell me that, man. I'm doing a review for that on when we did that Black Panther.